When I was working with corporations, there's so many problems that I've seen, and then one of the biggest problems is lead generation. And customers struggle to find good prospects and using traditional marketing and different avenues. So with that idea, I wanted to execute it, and I found a solution of using artificial intelligence. Rather than humans searching for it, I can replace that with using AI tools. And so it became kind of like a baby, and I started working on it and created a team together to put together a technical team to help me create my product and roll it out to the customers. And we have trial customers and paid customers. And so it's been growing ever since. It's been challenging, a roller coaster, and it's also my kind of like a second startup, so it was a lot learning curve as well. It's been pretty huge learning curve.
People like myself who actually come from the field, and our practitioners, we are very humbled by how much we don't know. Really, we are pretty ignorant about what needs to exist. What we do, we just create clever algorithms that emulate what people do. Neural networks emulate or simulate a part of your brain, if you like. But the brain doesn't work like a neural network, So anyway, so that's my perspective. I'll probably be shot by most of my colleagues. So.
My fundamental thesis on AI is, what's the purpose? A machine, a robot, is going to sit idle. The purpose has to be human-driven. It has to be what's going to make my life better, and at Schedule, our fundamental focus is on the individual. So how can we build an artificial intelligence agent that helps us navigate the future in a way that it is easy to plan things around, reschedule, be aware of things that are happening, in the family, but still have that privacy and that intelligence, just as if we had a high-priced, executive assistant, but that spanned work, family life, doctor's appointments, the totality of all the things that we do. So it has to be human-focused. And there's some hype around artificial intelligence, but the reality is okay, if you got a great tool, what's the problem it's solving, and what's it going to do for an average person? I'm going to ask a silly question. The question is how many people have had an awesome time trying to coordinate 3 or 4 people for a business meeting or a dinner with friends or anything like that? It doesn't happen, right? It's projected that there are 20 billion business meetings that happen in the United States on an annual basis. The process of planning those meetings takes as much time as often as the meeting itself, doubling the cost of those meetings. It's typified by painful communication. There's always this round robin of emailing of all the participants. When can you do things? When can you come back? Somebody has to organize all that content and all that data. And it's extraordinarily painful. And ultimately, we've got 5 billion digital calendars in the world, but it still takes a meeting to set up a meeting. What Schedule is artificial intelligence that works for the group's benefit in a patent-pending process that keeps everybody's data private while maintaining this ability to just select the people and you find the answer that you're looking for is when can you do that activity? When can you have that meeting? When can you set up that appointment? When can you have dinner with friends? When I set up schedule, my fundamental goal was I want the technology to be so smart and so in the background that all you had to do was pick the people and schedule would automatically start finding the answer that you're looking for. The impact of this is you save hours and days of wasted effort in that process. Schedule is a web application. It's a platform that will be available on your desktop, iOS and Android devices. And you have all the content across all the different aspects of your life in one location. So what Schedule does is enables my future to interact with your future in a way that if we plan to do something, those two data sets can have a relationship to one another and still maintain the privacy that's essential for modern life. What we're seeking is a $1 million investment in this next 6 months. With our current valuation, it'll be about 22% of the company.
I love the fact that I think the problem you're fixing is a big problem.
Right.
Like a lot of people have the scheduling meetings is a big problem for corporations, and I love the fact that you're doing that.
Howard? Well, in terms of the pain point, I resemble that remark. So I deal with it all the time. So if I understand it, the information is private, so I don't see anybody else's calendar. The AI sees the calendar, and all I'll actually get is a solution, right? As to here is the best time. But in order to do that, I've got to be invited in and say yes in terms of access to my calendar, correct?
No. You're half correct. That's a great question, because the question is it a walled garden? Can you interact with somebody who's not a current schedule member?
Right.
Right. And the answer is no. Let me rephrase the answer. The answer is if you know how to reach somebody with an email address or their phone number, you can send them a schedule invitation. Right. From your perspective as a schedule member, your life's much easier because they're interacting with the answer that our artificial intelligence provides in real time.
What we'd like to do is maybe take a look at maybe team testing with your teams right now, because there's some pieces missing for me. Your request for cash is very high compared to what you want to give away. I'm the money guy, so I have to be very careful of how our capital gets spent out. We would like to talk to you further, but we'd like to do more testing to see how this thing actually works.
Our company is focused on helping consumers find products faster and by making websites smarter. So we focus on building artificial intelligence technologies that you can basically augment an e-commerce site with. So you can inject this technology on an existing website on an incremental basis, product by product or across the whole site, or you can actually deploy an entire marketplace based on our technology. So I'll tell you a little bit about my background and motivation for how we've actually come about this. I worked for about 25 years in artificial intelligence, mostly in defense, space and defense in the UK. And we built a number of first deployed commercial applications of artificial intelligence and for the military in medicine, space and defense in particular, like machine learning algorithms at data. Apart from my time in defense, I also worked at Amazon and I ran Target.com. And since the mid-2000s, I've been in retail and e-commerce. And being on the retail side, I've seen many opportunities for improving consumers' experience. Because as product offerings and selections are exploding, consumers are finding it harder and harder to make decisions. And there are many experiments and a lot of data to support this. And so what does it mean for retailers? For retailers, it means that the average conversion rate, which is how many visits convert to orders, is only 2%. 98% of those visits are actually wasted. Because people basically go site to site, they just look for things, they don't really get what they're looking for, and websites are pretty stupid. websites are really dumb. So they basically index information, presenting to you a stimulus response like basically some kind of a reptile, basically. So you type something in search pattern, something comes back to you, you keep on doing it until you find what you're looking for. So our technology really consists of two elements. One, artificial intelligence technology is basically a toolkit that helps human experts teach our system in simplistic ways for them without using any programming or technical know-how. So our product basically involves capturing human expertise, feeding into existing websites to make them smarter, product by product, category by product, by category. But our goal is ultimately to have a marketplace where third parties, partners develop using our technology, plug and play product advisors that can be deployed everywhere. So you can walk into a Home Depot, point your phone at some product, it can tell you all about it and help you pick the right drill or drill bit for your application. So that's our goal. Our valuation is 10 million, and that's what we've been raising money on. And we do have actually interested parties who are willing to come in at a larger amount. Open to questions.
How much capital are you looking for now?
We're looking for 2 million right now as a bridge to our Series A of 5 million.
What's your revenue now?
Our revenue right now, because we're still focused on engineering, we actually did about 350K last year. That's without us focusing on revenue, we're just focusing on engineering, but we do get clients who come and sign up with us.
I love making dumb websites smart. I love that. I'm not sure who your competitors are. I'm thinking companies like IBM are probably doing that already or getting into doing that.
What we're doing is, as I said, it's very hard to do. I know of no company who's actually using this kind of a hybrid approach.
I don't think I know enough, actually. I kind of understand the product more.
A lot of moving parts.
I always I focus on revenue and where's the money going to come from. I'm trying to understand where the market opportunity is. I don't know enough yet.
Yeah, what you had to offer is very interesting. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of applications, obviously, from what we could do, what you're doing already. What you're asking for versus, I don't know what you're willing to give up for that. There's going to be a question that we have to discuss.
Sure.
What's the current problem today? When you market your product, you subscribe to digital ads, you create marketing ads on Facebook, Twitter, and different kinds of social media platforms, and you wait for customers to click, and then those are the leads that you follow up. But those retweets, and then even click is what presented to you as leads are not necessarily leads, right? And so because it's so hyper-competitive world and online that people are trying to jump on it. And so trying to get into different ad spaces and trying to make money, but the conversion rate here is very low. It's still an intrusive process. You still have to do cold calling, cold email on top of all this. It's a lot of effort. So what does our platform do? So what's the solution here? So if you look at Facebook and posts out there, you can do a keyword search. You can go and find what your business is, and so you can do some keyword search, a graphic designer looking for graphics, or a realtor who can search by realtor as the keywords. But they would get a ton of posts. With AI, that is what we remove the human element. It reads it for you. So we trained a model that can scout through social media posts and then figures out somebody's looking for a service or a product. And in this case, as you see, determine the 1 and 2 are actual prospects. Now with that, we also have a platform where you can engage them in real time. You can send them a message right away because it's a real lead. Somebody's looking for an office space, and you get a tweet, and you can immediately send them a message. So we do two types: direct customer selling, and we have a subscription model per month. And we also working with channel partners to open up for channel partnerships, and then use a reseller model, and then get revenue also. One of the big requests we're getting is they allow the lead generation. They also wanted to do automatically messaging also, the bots, like to communicate with them, and whenever they come to the point where they want to connect with the companies, then they can go ahead and convert that to sales. So they wanted like a sales engine. So that's why our company is called Engines. It's AI engines, an engine for each of the business process automation. We're starting with leads, So we have a market for sales, and we can expand into other areas also. And we're looking for $250K to get our data scientists, developers, and sales team, and also to grow our revenue and expand our IP.
I love the fact that I don't have to create content using your technology, and I get access to live customers. I love the fact that you are taking away what I call the junk lead and allowing me to talk to somebody directly. I love that. I'm not sure 250 is enough money for what you really want to do.
And you give it up for that 250, how much?
We're looking at 10%.
Mm-hmm. So I like your product. I understand the pain you're solving. And I actually agree with some of the features that you need to figure out from the build out to make it a more robust product. So I'm buying into all of those things.
Gentlemen,
How are you? Good to see you.
Hello, hello.
How's everybody doing?
We're doing
Phenomenal.
all right.
I get the pain. I feel your pain, right? I think you're a smart guy, okay? The next sort of going down my tick list, right? Does it work? I'm basically saying likely, or you could fix it because you're a smart guy, right? The customer experience, I'd like to experience it before I would write a check, but you know, I'm saying let's assume that's a check. The area that I'm not 100% nailed down on is on the revenue model. Some of it's free, some of it's pro and premium. I think people will pay if it's the right price. I think the market is corporate. Once I think corporate, I go firewalls, can you get in? I go adaptability at the corporate level, different challenge than on the consumer level. How are we going to market to corporations? How are we going to sell the fact that it's secure? How are we going to sell it's non-invasive? All those sort of marketing pieces of the puzzle. So the adoption rate, need to figure that out, more of that. And then finally, you know, the competition in the space and sort of understanding who's coming out against you and what kind of firepower they have is where I am in my thought process.
Right.
See, we want to take a look at what is it that you're doing right now as far as generating income, because obviously, if we're going to make the investment, we want to know that money is being returned.
How quickly will we get to revenue?
And with the way that you evaluate it right now, $5 million valuation, and you're asking for $1 million, I want to be able to see, you know, predictably when I get that back.
Exactly.
And so right now there is nothing that shows that.
Right.
And, and for me, it's the list of documents we talked about. You know, I want to review those documents and what you have from that perspective.
Yeah. So what we want to do is this: we want to put your company on hold in terms of investment, but we'd like to be able to take a look at the testing of it to see for ourselves how it functions.
Right.
And based on that, we can come back with some feedback to you and say, hey, listen, this is where we should maybe take you, or not at all. You know, I don't want to say no just yet, because I think that there's some validity to what you're doing, given that there is a space for this.
To be an entrepreneur means you have to have that vision of not just what you're doing and the people that you're working with, it's what's the end result. And you have to sell that vision of a better world to your wife, your significant other, your kids, the people that work with you, your investors, and the best part of it is if you don't have to sell it to the end customer. If the end customer, and that's what has happened at Schedule, they know they have the problem, and they know that the solution that we're telling them is exactly what they want. All you have to do is pick the people, and Schedule tells you the answer when something can happen, right? When can you have a meeting? When can you go to dinner with friends? And they said, well, I would love that. So I want that. And I said, okay, well, we'll build it, right? And that's what drives an entrepreneur, is knowing where you're going and saying, okay, everybody follow me and let's get there together. But it's a difficult road. Yeah, it's a difficult road.
to you again. How are you? Okay, so let's start with evaluation.
Okay.
Obviously, you're not asking for a whole lot, but at the same time, giving away a very small amount for 2.5 million. And what we noticed is there's no revenue still, right?
Yeah.
Revenue is a challenge. And you and I sat down at lunchtime, and I think that where we could probably help you is to be able to look at the different peripherals that we can add to what you're doing right now to generate that.
Absolutely.
A couple of things that we already talked about.
Right.
And to be able to move forward with that, we'd have to have some legal things handled, like your structure.
I gave you a list of documents in there that we'd want to take a look at and review, and have our lawyers take a look at and review. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, Howard.
Like to get you in front of some real live clients so we can test it to prove the model. So when you go to the next ones, you can say, I've done it for so-and-so. That's where I really think we can add some value.
I think that's what we want to do with you, is be able to maybe not give you the provide capital, but our expertise. Yet. And then we take a look at how we've grown with you, and then take a look at what the injection of capital would do for you. Because I don't think at this point it makes sense for us.
Being a founder and then trying to put the team together, right? And because I have the vision, I see the problem, I have the solution, and I have to convey that vision to the team and whomever I get on, and they have to be in the same passionate mode, right, to help me out. So those are the different things of challenging also. And we are bootstrapped right now, so with the funding aspect, we have to be so lean. And one of the great things we did was we are a very lean startup, and we were able to achieve what we did within last year.
All right,
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Love to be able to bring you into a lead client. We discussed like a Walmart
Excellent. That would
or
be
somebody of that scale, and basically say, here it is for free for the first 3 months, no obligation, just proof of concept. Because if you win a big guy,
Perfect.
remember doing that with Loblaws? I was working with a technology company, and took us a long time to land them and a long time to integrate. But once you have Loblaws as here's my example client, all the other pins seem to fall down. So I think you need like one big lead example, not about revenue, about proving it really works.
Absolutely, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So the bottom line for us is that we want to make the investment. We have to have some.
There's some
data.
pre-steps before making a final decision.
And then we will make a decision.
See the product, talk to some clients to see if we can get you in there, proof of concept, those kind of things.
Of course.
That's it for now. That's it. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thank you.
All right. Thanks so much. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right.
Not a home run, but second base.
Okay, excellent. That's good enough.
That's a good-
I'll
yeah.
take it. You have to be determined and resolute, not to be put off by short-term basically reverses and failures. You have to have a clear vision. You have to be able to back up what you're saying in terms of your skills and your team's skills. And you have to be in the right place. Like a lot of good entrepreneurs fail because of bad geography.